Town staff have pulled together the highlights of successes from the past year. There is a lot to celebrate. Let's take a look.
Since passing the Climate Action and Response Plan in April of 2021, we've ramped up our sustainability efforts and collaborated with staff across multiple departments to create a more sustainable Chapel Hill. The police and public works departments have added new electric vehicles to our fleet.
The Guardians of the Hill will use the Ford Mach-E for our Community Services Division. The Mach-E emits zero tailpipe emissions on more than 200 miles per charge. It gets the equivalent of 93 miles per gallon, 4 times better than the old vehicle it replaced.
Similarly, Public Works added an electric vehicle to our Building Maintenance Division. It is fully equipped with tool and ladder storage with zero tailpipe emissions up to 100 miles per charge.
3 additional departments will soon join the EV Club with 6 more electric vehicles on their way to us. We've added charging infrastructure to town facilities as well, including the police station, town operations center, and Eubanks Park and Ride lot. While most of these serve our staff and fleet, the Park and Ride chargers will also be available to the public.
And the Parks and Recreation and Fire Departments tried out new electric mowers and yard trimming blowers this past year. They are quieter and release zero emissions with uses comparable to gas-powered equipment.
Staff are using our first 3 electric buses that we unveiled in April across the Chapel Hill transit system. Our newest electric bus arrived a week ago, bringing us up to 4, with 7 more on order and funding secured for 7 additional buses. We also added Nissan Leafs to our fleet to get our operators from the Lee Center to their route and back without any emissions. We are committed to continuing our work with our funding partners to make investments in improving service and reducing emissions in our service area.
We made great strides in energy efficiency, upgrading the LED lights at our Chapel Hill Public Library and the Cedar Falls Park soccer field.
It will take just 18 months to pay back the cost of the light replacement here at the library, saving $23,000 in utility costs every year. That's equal to the emissions from 45 cars. And one other sustainability success story here, we composted over 3 tons of waste here at the library last year.
The lights at Cedar Falls will save more than $242,000 in utility costs in their 25-year lifetime. That's a savings of almost 1,700 metric tons of CO2 emissions. And soon those lights will be shining down on a new playing surface. We are replacing the artificial turf and chrome rubber infill we had installed 10 years ago with a blend of natural cork and premier grade elastomers, which are environmentally friendly and engineered using all recycled materials.
And the town of Chapel Hill is one of 122 cities and towns worldwide to earn the 2022 CDP A-List ranking for bold climate action and transparency. This is Chapel Hill's 2nd year receiving an A-List rating, which is the highest score awarded by the environmental nonprofit CDP.
We can't forget our responsibility to our own employees when we think of the community's economic and financial stewardship. The Council's support of the compensation and classification plan and implementation did not go unnoticed.
When I look at what the town has done over the last couple of years to really bring our salaries in alignment with other competitors in the industry, I'm really grateful for that because I get to reap the benefits personally when I have conversations with new prospects to come to work. Not only can we talk benefits and we talk about the culture of Chapel Hill, but we get to talk about competitive wages on top of all the other perks that have been provided for us here in the town of Chapel Hill.
Those increases have really gone a long ways for the employees here down in Public Works. And so from the bottom of my heart personally, I want to give a thank you for those increases this year.
Well, work is underway to get back to facilities maintenance. It was put on hold when our financial outlook was more of an unknown due to the pandemic. The cupola on the post office is a great example of much needed restoration that's resulted from weather deteriorating the structure.
The town has once again received AAA bond ratings from S&P and Moody's this year. We've held this financial recognition from S&P for 17 consecutive years and Moody's for 25 years in a row. These ratings mean our ability to borrow and protect the financial assets of our community are the strongest they can be, and we will continue to keep this as a top priority.
In November, Council approved changes to the town's land use management ordinance that shortens the development review process for projects that include at least 25% affordable housing. The changes reduce the timeline to less than 6 months, making it easier for developers to capitalize on funding assistance and incentivize the creation of more affordable housing in town.
In addition to the expedited review process for housing development that will play a major role in adding to our affordable housing inventory, Council's approval of the $9.1 million funding plan in November means plans for nearly 300 affordable housing units can become a reality. This is the largest amount of funding for affordable housing in a single year in town history. Town projects such as Homestead Gardens and Trinity Court were included in the plan with Empowerment's Peach Apartments, Habitat for Humanity's Weaver's Grove, and the Community Home Trust Master Leasing Program.
The town of Chapel Hill was one of 28 projects in 23 North Carolina counties to receive a 2022 9% low-income housing tax credit award. The award is valued at more than $10 million and will help support the construction of 54 affordable units at Trinity Court to replace the 40 existing units that have been vacant since 2018.
Another town project leveraging significant outside resources was Homestead Gardens, which received a $2 million grant from the Federal Community Project Funding Program, championed by Congressman David Price. The fiscal year 2022 Omnibus Spending Bill, which the President signed into law March 11th, along with Council-approved town funding and other leverage sources, allowed the project to secure the funding it needs to work towards breaking ground in the next year.
In addition to the environmental improvements our transit system has made, our staff has been working with planning, affordable housing and community connections, and other departments to finalize a transit-oriented development strategy. The TOD effort is being made possible by substantial federal funding, complements the town's complete community strategy, and will support transit investments, including the North-South Bus Rapid Transit project.
The complete community approach builds on transit-oriented development and is not just about creating housing. It's about placemaking and creating the right places. It's about creating end-to-end connections without needing a car, like transit and greenways.
In the past year, the town approved a neighborhood slow zone policy, allowing neighborhoods the option to request 20-mile-per-hour speed limits and other neighborhood-wide safety strategies. Also, the Vision Zero Task Force collaboratively piloted traffic calming and pedestrian safety interventions in the Northside neighborhood.
The lane reallocation project of West Franklin Street has given new, safer space to people on two wheels traveling downtown. We continue to collect feedback and learn how our community wants Franklin Street and downtown to function for all modes of mobility.
The North Carolina State Legislature has proclaimed 2023 the Year of the Trail, and we have many trails in Chapel Hill worth celebrating. The goal of this year-long effort is to inspire a variety of people to try trails, demonstrate the importance of trails, increase outdoor recreation tourism, promote safe and responsible use of trails, and increase diversity and inclusion on trails.
It was a privilege to be part of renaming the transit facility in honor of Howard and Lillian Lee on June 20th, the date observed by the town this past year for Juneteenth. Their leadership has helped shape our community, and we look forward to further celebrating the Lees in 2 years when the transit system they were instrumental in supporting turns 50 years old.
In addition to the town's non-discrimination ordinance now being a little more than a year old, we again received a score of 100 on the Human Rights Campaign's Municipal Equality Index. This is the second year in a row that Chapel Hill has received the top score, which shows that the town continues to work hard to build a community that values and protects all who live and work here.
We want to know more about who is interacting with us so we can connect better with them, while also reaching out to those we are missing. At each council meeting, we collect voluntary demographic data from those in attendance. We have also worked with Parks and Recreation to enhance demographic data collection with the goal of making sure our programs are available to a diverse population. The 2022 Community Survey also included the first diversity, equity, and inclusion questions. In addition, the town implemented the Equity Lab, a collaborative space for staff to begin using the racial equity assessment lens to our programs, policies, and procedures to improve equitable outcomes in our service provision.
We partnered with the Downtown Partnership and UNC Arts Everywhere to host Festival, bringing local vendors and attendees downtown for 3 weekends in October of art, food, performances, and family fun. For 2 days in early November, more than 400 professionals from across the world of arts, culture, community affairs, and economic development gathered downtown for the Creative Placemaking Leadership Summit South in Appalachia. Through collaborative planning with Carborough, we welcomed the return of the Community Holiday Parade for the first time since the pandemic. And in our community's efforts to put art everywhere, more of our buses, bus shelters, bike racks, buildings, greenways, and storm drains are wrapped or painted by a local artist.
Through an unprecedented funding campaign from the Friends of Chapel Hill Public Library, we increased our world language collections this year. More than 840 books in languages other than English were purchased for the collection through this campaign. Materials were chosen in 8 languages, selected based on the demographic makeup of Chapel Hill and highlighting stories with diverse characters.
Nationally, public safety agencies are struggling to recruit and retain qualified individuals. Chapel Hill has made great progress in the last year developing future leaders in vital service departments.
10 firefighters joined the Chapel Hill Fire Department after graduating from our fire academy at Durham Tech. These young men and women have taken the responsibility of protecting life and property with dedicated service to the town. And we continue to support the Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools Fire Academy, making sure the pipeline of dedicated individuals is strong.
We graduated 7 new Guardians of the Hill in July. April marks the 1-year anniversary of our participation in the 30 by 30 initiative, which seeks to increase female participation in law enforcement agencies to 30% by 2030. Our current basic law enforcement training class is made up of 22% women. All 9 cadets are on track to become sworn in early March. Once that happens, we will have 13 women officers, which is nearly 13% of our police department.
Our mental health first aid program is up and running. This internationally recognized skills-based certification program teaches adults how to recognize and respond to signs and symptoms of mental health and substance abuse challenges. Graduates of this program learn specific ways to engage with people experiencing these issues and to connect them with national and local resources. 35 employees have already become certified as mental health first aiders, and our goal is to have at least 1/3 of town employees complete this training.
The town has also supported the expansion of the Street Outreach and Harm Reduction and Deflection Program, SORAD, which connects people experiencing homelessness in Chapel Hill and throughout Orange County with housing and services.
Our crisis unit has 8 full-time staff members, including a peer support specialist and a crisis counselor assigned to Chapel Hill Transit. We continue expanding our after-hours availability. We are working with county partners to staff crisis counselors directly in the Orange County 911 Communications Center to provide vital response as soon as someone reaches out for help.
Our virtual report unit is now available online for community members to make certain non-emergency police reports at any time that is convenient for them. They can still make these reports by phone and in person at the police department. And we continue to look at ways to expand the types of reports the unit takes.
The biennial community survey is one of many ways that the town seeks active resident involvement in local government. Residents can directly share their satisfaction with town services, highlighting the areas where they expect improvement, like management of traffic flow, stormwater runoff, and public parking. This valuable tool let us know that nearly 90% of respondents are satisfied with the overall quality of life in Chapel Hill. Our ability to respond to concerns raised in this survey allows us to build trust and therefore transparency with the variety of residents we serve.
Providing communication that is clear, well-organized, and easily understood also builds trust and transparency. These are 2 important goals of the Plain Language Project. Members of Communications and Public Affairs and the Manager's Office train key staff members in the foundations of plain language and offer group review of publications that need help. In November and December, we embarked on a journey to create a center of excellence to bridge ongoing efforts like the Language Access Plan and Racial Equity Group, simplify target content areas to look at readability and clarity, empower communicators with tools and training they need to succeed, and define the center's mission and responsibilities.
Much of the work on the town's portion of the East Rosemary Street redevelopment project has been about demolition and underground infrastructure. Very soon, the new parking deck will be coming out of the ground. This deck will be a part of a larger redevelopment on East Rosemary Street to create new office, wet lab, and innovation space downtown. The 1,000-space deck will replace a 276-space parking deck and include a retail porch along Rosemary Street to provide space for small businesses and vendors.
Let's Talk Town makes the services, programs, and input opportunities from multiple town departments available to the community in one place. By working together to promote ongoing projects, our interdepartmental communication and collaboration also improve, which makes future joint efforts easier to coordinate. This initiative meets people where they are. Let's Talk Town hosted a total of 24 in-person events and 16 office hours on Zoom last January. So far this year, we have hosted 12 in-person events and 5 Zoom office hours, with another full month of Let's Talk Town planned for February. Hundreds of people have provided their thoughts and opinions to help us better decide how to spend town funds, develop new services, and get community members involved in their local government.
We're learning, serving, and working together to build a community where people can thrive.